Hello, my name is Jesse. I'm a costumer, and for this video, I'm going to be talking about my Jaskier cosplay. Specifically the jacket, and what I'm going to be working on is the back panel, the center back panel, with all of the, it's all a contrast grain sort of a feature, but the center back piece has a applique section, and what I'm going to be doing is, I've already gotten ahead of myself and started the process, but I thought, why not actually document it? Why not make a video about it? So that's what I'm doing. So I'll give you a little bit of a look at it so far. So if you've been following my social media, you will recognize this long boy here. It just keeps going. And yeah, what I'm going to be doing is, see this section here. Let's see if I can show you that. I've only basted it in with a very, very obvious thread. And what I have done on one side, which one did I do? Here we go. So I've already done this part of the jacket. So the basting stitch has gone, well, I've left it in, but I've gone through and slip stitched this whole section. And that's what I've got to do for all of these, all 30 of these folds. And then, of course, what I'm going to do after this, because you can see we've got this raw edge here, that's going to be gone. We're not going to see it. I'll probably end up machining this down or zigzagging so it doesn't fray. But that's a moot point, because what I will do eventually, I've notched and marked, there we go, you can see me here. I've notched and marked the fold points. So what will eventually happen is I'll fold this and we'll get something like this all the way down the back. Not a very good visual illustration for what I'm doing, but that's okay, because that's the point of this video. Because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and start stitching this guy. And hopefully by the end of this video, I will have this section will be ready to attach to the side panels. And then it'll be in a wearable state, which I'd love it. I'd love if by the end of this video, I could have that jacket in a wearable state. So let's do it. Okay, so I've gone through and hand stitched all of these folds down. So it's perfect. Well, close to perfect. So what I need to do next is to go through and machine down that raw edge that I wasn't doing anything with. It is going to get lost in the folds of the fabric when I do pleat this guy. Hang on, I'll pin one of them in just to show you. So we are actually going to lose that little raw edge here anyways, but it wouldn't hurt just for the security of keeping this as flat to the applique piece as possible to have it just zigzagged onto the flat. It'll make pleating it a lot easier. And that's what we want, because I'm thinking, I haven't cut it yet, but I'm going to mount this to a drill shape that is basically, it's the back before I started cutting and spreading and making the pleats. So as I go, what I'm going to do is pin the top, well, starting from the bottom actually, pin it to the drill piece, and then as I go, I'm going to press the fold over, and then what I'm going to do is herringbone this top edge to the registration line on the drill piece. So it should, it will secure it basically exactly on this line here. And that's what we want. I could try and machine it down, but I think having the herringbone stitch will give me a lot more flexibility, and that's what we want. It doesn't hurt to do the hand finishing technique anyways. So yeah, I'm going to remove all these basting stitches, and of course I'm going to go through with my walking foot and just zigzag all the way along each of these lines. So after that, I'll cut that drill and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so things didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. I don't know if you can tell from the recording, but there was a small discrepancy with the pleated section when I laid the drill. When I got to the end of the stitching this to the drill, there was a bit of an overhang at the shoulders and the neck, which I think was to do with when I dropped the neck from the toile. So that's not a big deal. But the second thing was the bottom fold. So this was the drill pattern. And what I didn't realize was this was actually not the final pleat. It was in fact the fold over for, like, this was still the final fold, but this was just the bottom edge, the complete bottom edge. So this would be folded over and stitched to underneath, which is a problem. It's not a big problem, for one, because I can just cut off the excess. But what I had planned for with the bottom of this was to have much more of a much bigger hem for stability, but that's okay. It's something I can fix, but it's just a little thing that I need to go back and fix. So I'm going to come back to that, but I thought I'd show you how it all turned out on the mannequin because I'm excited to see it, and it looks so different looking at it like this. So I'll take the camera, just lower him so you can see more of this guy. All right. So this is my boy. Look at him. Look at that. And what's this? Put the front on too. Look at that. So what I was talking about before, you can't see that. So this is the bottom fold. And obviously we've got the hem for the side back piece. And what the problem is, this is the problem. So quite a long problem here. But like I said, it's not a big deal because I still have that I have an excess of fabric that I can fold over. So it's not like it's not like I'm suffering from any lack of stability, but it's more an aesthetic thing. It's more an aesthetic thing. It's bothering my OCD more than it's actually a detriment to the structure of the garment. So it's not a big deal. It's just a little mistake that I made along the way, and something I'm going to learn from in the future. Next time I make a pleated backed fitted men's jacket, I wouldn't be surprised if this came up again. Anyways, so what I'm going to do next, probably not in this video, what I'm going to be doing next is stitching this to another layer of drill, just because, and I'll take this off the mannequin to show you, because it's very hard to explain where my head's at the moment. And it probably won't make sense unless I show you. Again, I will probably change my mind about this later, but the reason I want to do that is because I want to have a little more stability when I do attach to the side back piece. Attach this to the side back piece, I mean. Classic me. All right. So you can see my center back piece, and you can also see, I don't know if you can actually see that. Okay. See, all along here, there was, somehow I went a bit wonk. It went a bit wonky, and it's not a big deal, but it wouldn't hurt to add stitch it to another layer. I'll go through my walking foot and just stitch right along the edge. Because when I attach this, I am going to be using all of that 1.5 seam allowance, because that seam line for the side back piece is almost exactly on the line for where that fold stops. So it's one of those parts of the costume that needs to be quite accurate. I mean, this needed to be quite accurate, and I did a pretty good job at getting it accurate, stitching on those lines. But it's just unfortunate that, you know, it's unavoidable that these kinds of little mistakes come up, especially when you're working with such a small margin for error. But it worked, and I'm really happy it worked. But I guess I'm not going to be wearing it for this video, which I'm a little disappointed with, but that's okay. I've got a plan for the next video, because I do actually, there's a lot yet I still need to do. Obviously, I need to fix that. But also, I do need to get on the epaulets, because the epaulets are something that, they're not like anything I've made before. It's going to involve a bit of trial and error, playing with some calico scraps and just trying to get the shape of it right. And also, I still need to solve the trim problem, because the trim I haven't got to yet. It's probably going to be a lace I might that I'm going to foil in some way, but there's still quite a bit that needs to be done. So the next step is to fix that mistake with the center back, and then I'm going to twirl the sleeves. Well, I'm going to assemble it first, try it on, then I make the sleeves, and then I'm going to get on those epaulets, do the collar, and then I can finally get back to this guy, because he is waiting on me to make the death's head buttons, and also I need to make the collar. And I was holding off on that because I do want to have just a small bit of the lace detail poking out from the gold collar. So that's what I'm waiting on for that piece anyways. But it's all coming together really well. I'm really happy with how this little adventure has turned out. Mistakes were made, but I know where I'm going with this now. So I think this is going to be my my natural stopping point for this video. So I'll leave you guys with that, but stay tuned for next time. I'm going to be fixing that, and the next video will probably be the sleeves and the fit. So that's exciting. But until then, leave a comment if you have any questions about the build. I'd love to answer any questions you might have about it. And of course, follow my Instagram for more frequent updates and, some nice pictures of the build. So yeah, until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and bye.